In Palworld, Anubis has always been one of the more interesting pals in the game. With their design being based on the Egyptian god of the same name along with multiple structures in the game depicting this pal, it's easy to see why this pal would stand out to many people. So today I wanted to take the time to upgrade this pal and see how powerful they can really be. What's going on everybody, it's your boy Speakerhead, and today I'm going to show you how to upgrade Anubis. But before we get into this guide, just a friendly reminder that if you enjoy any of the music you hear during this video or just want to support the channel in general, it's all part of my DMCA free music label, Speakerhead Studios. All the music on this label is completely DMCA free, so go ahead and use any of these songs for your content creating needs. We currently have over 70 songs available with more added frequently, so if you're interested in checking that out, all the links will be in the description below. I also want to quickly give a shout out to my good friend that goes by Sticky Sparkles on Instagram that makes some incredible art, including the picture that I recently set as my profile picture. She does all different types of commissions that are fantastic, so if you like her art and want a commission done by her, I'll have her link in the description below. She's super talented and honestly one of the sweetest people I've ever met, so if you wouldn't mind checking her art out, I'd appreciate it. And one last shout out I want to give is to the individual who asked in one of my previous videos to make this guide on Anubis. I really appreciate your comment and your support towards the channel. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the guide. So before actually talking about upgrading any pal including Anubis, it's always best to go over the basics of them first. Anubis is going to be a pure ground type pal that can only be found as a level 45 boss in the desert area located towards the center of the map. Talking about Anubis' partner ability now, while fighting together they'll apply ground damage to the player's attacks. On top of that, Anubis also has another partner ability that allows him to occasionally dodge attacks with a high speed sidestep, which can be extremely helpful in many combat situations. Moving on to exclusive moves now, Anubis actually has 3 different exclusive moves, which are Ground Smash, Forceful Charge, and Spinning Roundhouse. But quickly talking about passive skills, Anubis is the only pal in the game that is able to naturally be found with the passive skill Earth Emperor, which gives a 20% attack boost to ground type moves. Finally, as for their base skills, Anubis is a level 4 in Handiwork, a level 3 in Mining, and a level 2 in Transporting, which are all great skills to have. But with the basics of Anubis out of the way, let's get into the fun part of upgrading them. Starting with our first upgrade, and that's going to be by breeding Anubis for good passive skills. Now normally I would only share my passive skill combination to make your pal as strong as possible. However, with Anubis being one of the few pals that are powerful fighters along with being fantastic base workers, I'm going to give my personal recommendation on passive skills that would fit both of these needs. Starting with combat oriented passive skills, I went with Legend, Musclehead, Ferocious, and Burly Body. You could switch out a couple of these passive skills for other ones such as Serenity or Earth Emperor, but for the sake of this video, these are the skills I decided to go with for this pal. But with this combination of passive skills, this will give your Anubis a 70% attack boost and a 40% defense boost. Quickly switching gears to base oriented passive skills, I personally went with Artisan, Serious, Work Slave, and Lucky. That being said, you could replace one of these skills with Nocturnal for those who want workers to work at night as well. I personally sleep through most nights these days in my private world, so I don't get much use out of it. However, from my previous video talking about the top 10 base pals, it seems like many people use this passive skill, so I definitely wanted to mention it here. With this passive skill combination, it'll give your pal an 115% work speed boost. So moving on, after you got an Anubis with the passive skills you prefer, the next step to upgrading your pal is to upgrade them in a pal condenser. With a pal condenser, any pal can have their partner ability upgraded along with their general stats being increased. Something else to know is that once you've fully upgraded a pal in a condenser, all of their base skills will be leveled up by 1 as well, which is pretty helpful. But with a total of 117 pals, you can level up your Anubis with level 1 needing 4 pals, level 2 needing 16 pals, level 3 needing 32 pals, and level 4 needing 64 pals. Now once you've finished upgrading your pal in a condenser, the next step to upgrading your pal is by hitting that like and subscribe button to gain a 10% boost and being awesome. But the actual next step to upgrading your pal is in a Statue of Power. With a total of 10 small pal souls, 6 medium pal souls, and 6 large pal souls, you can fully upgrade one of 4 stats, which are health, defense, attack, and work speed. By upgrading any of these stats to full, this will give your pal a 30% boost in whichever one you choose. Also, to help you get pal souls, here's a quick list of all the pals in the game that currently drop pal souls of all 3 sizes. But after you've upgraded your pal in a Statue of Power, the next step to upgrading them is with pal fruits. With ability glasses unlocked at level 34, you can see the hidden potential of any pal, which are the stats that pal fruits upgrade. But all you have to do is feed your pal each type of fruit until each of these stats are at 100. You can also breed these hidden stats into other pals so you don't have to keep getting pal fruits for each pal. But for those who plan on buying pal fruits with dog coins, a helpful tip is to use a Catress. Their partner ability will make neutral pals drop more items when defeated, which works on Mimogs and dog coins. Also remember that upgrading a pal in a condenser upgrades their pal ability, and this will increase the amount pals will drop, so make sure to do that as well. So after you've finished upgrading your Anubis with pal fruits, this is technically all the permanent upgrades you can do to your pal at this time. However, there still are a couple of temporary upgrades you can do. The first of these upgrades being with food. Depending on what type of food you or your pal eats, both of you can gain a wide variety of buffs such as attack boosts, defense boosts, work speed boosts, along with many others. For combat purposes, I use these foods, and for work purposes, I go with these foods. However, just like all my other guides, I highly recommend looking through all the different food options you can make and see which ones might work best for you. But moving on to the second temporary upgrade, and that's by taking advantage of the Mud's partner ability. Their ability gives an attack boost to ground type pals, with them giving a 10% attack boost at level 1. However, at a level 5 partner ability, the Mud will grant a 20% attack boost to ground type pals. So if you were to have 4 fully upgraded Demuds in your party alongside your Anubis, this will give them an additional 80% attack boost. Now if you were to upgrade your Anubis exactly the same as I did in this video, your pal's stats should generally look like this if you went with the combat route. However, if you went with the base worker route, your pal should have work speed stats that look like this. Also, one last tip I'll give is to build all these structures at your base. Each one gives work speed boosts to different skills, so trust me, you can thank me later. And to give a quick demonstration of how fast your Anubis will be working, here's a quick clip showing the difference between an upgraded Anubis and a non-upgraded Anubis. But for those who went with the combat route, instead of telling you how strong this pal is, I'm going to have him go up against Victor and Shadowbeak to really see what he's got. And for those who are curious, these are the active skills Anubis will be using during this fight. So without further ado, let the battle begin. Alright Anubis, let's get it. Show him what you got. Here, let's get you guys out of the corner. Here, you come here. I will dodge your laser. You come here. Thank you. Anubis, get him. Good damage, good damage. Blitzing in. Ooh, watch out, buddy. Big hits, big hits. Yikes, that's no good. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of thought Anubis would be taking a lot more damage, but they're just tanking a lot of these attacks. I'll admit they're not doing a crazy amount of damage, at least that I would prefer, but they're pretty much tanking every single shot this guy has. Look at that. Like it was nothing. That dash move is really cool, but I am not a fan of how much distance he has to gather up in order to do it. Obviously, it's a dash, I get it, but like he has to get a good amount of distance. Just kind of sliding backwards, gonna ignore that. Oh, good hit, good hit. Just blitz past that divine departure. What's crazy is Anubis doesn't even have any sort of like health potions on, so he's just tanking all of these without any sort of buffs like that. I mean, he's doing good damage, but I kind of wish he would do more considering how much attack power we put on him. Then again, I know he doesn't have Serenity or anything like that, so I get it, but at the same time, I kind of was hoping for a little bit more. I might have to do a battle against the boss he's effective against to see how powerful he really is and how much attack power he can really do. Alright, Anubis, got about 5 minutes left, over half their health taken out. You can do this, I believe in you. Big jump. Just gonna slide backwards. That is another problem I've noticed. If he jumps on an enemy and does that like ground slam, he'll just kind of like slide away. A little bit of a glitch, but no big deal. Tank that hit, Anubis. See, it was nothing. See, and there he goes, sliding away. Oh, big hit, high. I guess it does kind of help if he is just kind of sliding away, because that'll help him for his dash ability. Tank that, Anubis. Yeah, normally with a full attack pal, I would have to pull them back at this point, but with having Burly Body and Legend on this guy, he just is able to tank every single one of these attacks. Even though he doesn't do the most amount of damage he could, I think it's a pretty solid build, because look at this, he's just tanking every one of these hits. He's just like, nope, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna stay right here. I'm gonna tank all these hits, and then I'm gonna hit you back. Or just stand there and do nothing, whichever you choose, I guess. Hit him with that slide. Yeah, see, like, I don't think it's intentional. I think it's like just a slide that happens because it doesn't know how to connect to the ground properly. Because he was sliding and doing his little like ground spike move, which he's not supposed to do. So it definitely is a glitch. All right, Anubis, just a couple more hits and you can finish this. One more good hit, Anubis. You got this. I believe in you. Just tank those hits. Aw, so close. One more good hit, Anubis. Come on. You got a minute 40, buddy, and time is ticking. You can stare at him all day. Actually hit him. Victory. I don't even think that was like a cooldown thing. I think he was just like not wanting to attack. It's like, I'm gonna wait for a minute. Now with that battle concluded, I hope this shows just how powerful you can make Anubis in Palworld. But that's going to be my guide on how to upgrade Anubis. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you found this guide helpful, and also let me know what pals you'd like to see me upgrade next. Finally, once again, if you want to support the channel, you can check out my DMCA free music label and the links down below. But that's all I have to say for now, so thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch all y'all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.